Why is there always an airplane when I'm about to film? Much better. Welcome to another Metaphysical Monday here on Uncensored Intuition. I know it's the first Monday of the month. Hear me out. I did not do our picks for the month. If you are familiar with how we do Metaphysical Monday, the first Monday of the month, I do our picks. I pick an herb or plant to go over the properties of, and a crystal, and we pull a tarot card and a symbol. However, life. Do I need to say more? Life. So we're gonna skip that this month. I'm probably not the only person that is busy. We bumped up one of my kids' birthday parties from next weekend to this past weekend, and I didn't get anything else done. So here we are with a book review for Metaphysical Monday. If you're new to the channel, I do witchy unboxing videos, Metaphysical Monday videos, where we talk about metaphysical topics, which I am going to be kind of maybe doing like one a month for the next couple of months, just because things have gotten a little busy and things have come up. So Metaphysical Mondays and random tarot readings. I will have some zodiac readings coming out for the new year. Not something I do regularly. If that's what you're looking for, then I'm sorry to disappoint. But that's what I have to offer. If you like that sort of shit, stick around, check out the channel, watch some videos, subscribe if you want to. I'd love to have you. So let's get into our book review. We're going to talk about Sigil Witchery by Laura Tempest Zakroff. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I did mention this in last Monday's video. We were talking about sigils, and I kind of hinted that there was going to be a book review coming up. So I bumped this up, actually. So kind of keeping it on theme, I guess. So this book is not what I expected, and in a good way. So normally when you look into sigils, you find the typical ways of doing sigils, which includes either the witch's wheel, like I showed in the other sigil videos. I do have my own book on that, but it's not a book like this. Is chock full of information. This is a great book, but mine is more of a workbook for you to create your sigils. So in that, I went with the most common ones, which you're gonna usually see. The witch's wheel, which has all of the witch's alphabet, the letters, the alphabet, and you know, connect based on the word for your intention. Then there's the block of 9, where some of them use a planetary block, which I don't know how that works. I didn't do it because that's not my thing. And then transferring your letters into the corresponding number and using that. I use the 4 main ways until I got this book, which I've always I've had my eye on this book for a while. It is very, very informative. However, it's not going to show you the typical ways that you see sigils being made. This is so let's start from the beginning. We have a lot of historical information about what sigils are, lots of good explanations, easy to understand, but there is a large portion of this book that is kind of dedicated to different locations and the ancient art that was found, like say thinking cave drawings and that sort of stuff. So they go over the different kinds of the basic shapes. So there's information for different areas. There's Chinese characters, there's Aboriginal symbols that were found in their cave drawings and that sort of thing. But she really goes in detail on all of that. So if you're a history buff and you want to see what the symbols mean, this is a great book for that. So she goes into explanation on what the meanings of different things are. I have some of the pages flagged for a class that I did in a private group. Not my group. I don't have a group, so there's that. But like the basics, just basic symbols and what they can be interpreted as. So she doesn't take a word of a word intention and transfer it into a symbol. she likes to include the art and the history behind it and what that means. There are also element symbols and that sort of thing. It's very, very cool. I like understanding what these symbols mean. And things that I didn't really realize. So there's that aspect of it, including numbers in your sigils. And there is a section, what was in here? I think this was just a quote, but no, here's the section. And so what she kind of uses and recommends is doing keywords and then using a symbol that corresponds to the keyword. So she has some workbook kind of pages in here where with keywords, and then you can draw your symbol of what that might represent so that you can use the symbol instead of just connecting dots or making lines in your sigils. So I think that's really cool to include. I didn't fill this out. Yeah, I didn't feel the need to, but so you could do that. But you know, money, you could put the dollar sign, you can put a circle, you know, a pentacle even to represent money if you go with that route. And then there's the next chapter is about making magic, how to kind of construct. And not only that, but these are the steps that they use to create their sigil. So there's step-by-step instructions doing it that way, but there are also examples. There are a lot of examples. This is Donna's sigil. In back here, there's the examples of what is a good goal and a bad idea to use, like to make sure that it is succinct and to the point and reaches the universe in the way that you want it to, so that it doesn't backfire on you. But there are definitely different scenarios. And then ritual art, or I got that ritual. Witches love ritual. I don't do ritual very well. We'll just blame that on ADHD. Rituals are a little difficult for me. To specifically daily rituals. Holy cow. All right. So what you can do with your sigil, which we went over last Monday as well. And just a lot of ideas of how to use your sigils. If you don't want a permanent sigil, or it can't be permanent, it's something that can wash away by putting it in the sand on the beach, and then it washes away and kind of puts it out into the universe. Lots of great ideas, and using the elements with your sigil. Lots of great information. What else did I have bookmarked back here? I believe it was a quote that I was using in that class. Design guidance. And it's really a guide. It's not very rigid on how to, like, you have to do it this way. This is just how they do it. And I'm not sure of their pronouns, so I keep switching between she and they. Hopefully I am at least correct on the she part. But yeah, very, very detailed. And then even how to draw certain shapes is in here. And then she goes into detail on specific art supplies. So if you're very artsy, brushes, and then there's some practice exercises as well, which I did not do any of them, but give, you know, a coven sigil, a business sigil, an office ward, a healing sigil, transformational, just some ideas. And then there are some examples. There's the coven sigil that she created using the keywords suggested by her. So yeah, there's a lot of good information in here. I definitely recommend this. And then there's more sigils, a gallery of sigils in here. So there is a lot of examples, a lot of ideas, a lot of guidance to allow you to use your own intuition and or art, I don't know, art perspective, I guess, to include that in there. But there is a lot of great artwork in here too. My goodness. But yes, and then conclusion, further research on art and history and culture, and there's a lot of cultural information included in here if that is something that is part of your path. But definitely, just to give you a little bit of a walkthrough, show you what's included in the book, my thoughts, my favorite part really was learning the history. I wasn't expecting to learn the cultural history behind a lot of the symbols. I thought that was awesome to include. The step by step, I have not created any sigils using this method yet. I do plan on it, but and you might be thinking that's kind of weird. You haven't used it, but you're recommending it. I want to get to know the art and the history behind the symbols before I start using them. It's just something I don't want to implement something into my practice that I'm not fully educated on, I guess. But yes, I will be using this as a guide to create my own sigils. And I am going to incorporate the book that I created with that in order to work them out. And, you know, it is your practice. You can do it however you want. You can take bits and pieces of this, and that's probably what I'm going to do. And the knowledge that you gain from this book to use other methods. You can combine them together. There is no right or wrong. And I think that's my favorite part of sigil magic in general, or chaos magic, is that there is no right or wrong. It is based on your own intuition, your perspective, and your practice. And you get to decide how to use the tools that you have. It is a tool, and sigils can be a tool as well as a method. I feel like that's like two sides of the same coin, but that I feel like is another discussion. But yes, I recommend it. My favorite part is definitely learning the history behind some of the symbols and different cultures that have, there's definitely a similarity between symbols from across the globe that you wouldn't think, because back then when these cave arts were being created, there was not very easy ways to communicate. So they wouldn't have had the same, without it being, they wouldn't have the same symbols or imagery without it having a cohesive meaning across the globe. So I think that was really great to be included. Anything that I didn't like in the book, I didn't particularly read in depth the sections about the art tools, just because I am not very artistic, at least not with my hands. So I didn't, that part didn't necessarily resonate for me, but I feel like if you're somebody who's drawn to symbolism and that kind of imagery, you're probably already leaning onto the artistic side of that, and you may benefit from that. So that's just my opinions. This is my review of Sigil Witchery. I definitely recommend it if you are either starting out, even if you're not starting out, if you're familiar with sigils and you already work with sigils, this will bring a whole different, it sheds a different light on your sigil work. So let me know if you have this book or if you are thinking about it. Yeah, definitely leave some feedback in the comments if you have this book, you've used this book, or if it's on your wish list, that kind of thing. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back with another book review soon. I will have some tarot readings coming out very soon. I will see you in the next one. And always remember that the magic you seek is already within you. Have a blessed day.